On the broadcast this hour,
prosecution granted 14 days to conduct a mental assessment on Mackenzie co-accused. Raila says heinous murder of women threat to security, and U.S. Senate rejects Bernie Sanders' push to the Israeli aid.
Iqra 3 p.m. news begins now.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is 3 p.m. Hope you're having a lovely afternoon. Welcome to Iqra News. My name is Ramla Abdi. A High Court sitting in Malindi has allowed the prosecution 14 days to carry out a mental health assessment on Paul Mackenzie and 30 other co-accused persons before they stand trial for the alleged murder of the children victims. At least 238 children were among the 429 bodies of people exhumed from the vast Shakahola forest. They died after they were allegedly forced to fast for weeks. There are accusations some victims were strangled to death. After a 9-month investigation, the Director of Public Prosecution said Mackenzie and 30 others were responsible for the deaths of victims, mostly children. Mackenzie and the co-accused were arraigned, but the DPP asked for 2 weeks to carry out a mental assessment before they are charged with murder. The defense team, led by Wycliffe Makasembo, opposed the application. However, Malindi High Court Judge Lady Justice Thande Mugure granted the prosecution 14 days to continue holding the suspects to undergo mental tests. The matter will be mentioned on February 6th. And the family of the 20-year-old woman whose dismembered body was discovered at an Airbnb residence in Nairobi's Roysambu area on Sunday has revealed fresh details surrounding her gruesome murder. According to Rita Waeni Muendo's family, she left her aunt's residence in Siyokimau to meet with a friend. They say at around 5 a.m. on Sunday, her father received a message delivered from her phone number demanding a ransom of 500,000 Kenya shillings within 24 hours for the release of the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology student. The body parts of the student, who was due to join her 4th year of university, were discovered inside a trash bag in the apartment by the caretaker on Sunday. Her head was, however, missing. The detectives are still searching for Muendo's head and her personal belongings, including her clothes and a mobile phone. Yesterday, police arrested a male foreign national at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on suspicion of being involved in the murder. Meanwhile, Azimio leader Raila Odinga has termed the recent murder cases of women in the country as a threat to security. Odinga's concern comes in the wake of the deaths of 2 women in under 2 weeks who died while in the company of alleged lovers. He urged security agencies and other actors in the criminal justice system to step up their game to prevent further loss of lives. The first incident involves the murder of popular socialite Starlet Wahoo, whose body was discovered in an Airbnb in South B in the New Year's Eve, and the killing of another woman in Roysambu area, whose dismembered body was discovered in a rented house on January 14th. Odinga added that the recent deaths of young women is troubling, leaving a trail of grief for families and friends. Odinga is one among many Kenyans who have raised alarm over the recent spike in death of women. Echoing Odinga's call, the Federation of Women Lawyers in Kenya, FIDA, has appealed to the government to further strengthen the regulatory mechanisms for accommodation facilities, including Airbnbs, in a bid to prevent the increased cases of femicide. And elsewhere, Court of Appeal Judge Mohammed Warsame has urged parties in the Kirima case to try and resolve the matter out of court. The court asked the parties to negotiate the matter and live together in peace. The court further urged the lawyers to be considerate when trying to resolve the dispute, adding that the parties in the case can reach a consent that will benefit all parties. Meanwhile, the 3-judge bench has maintained the current status quo on the matter, meaning the over 5,000 occupants occupying the disputed land will not be evicted. Also, the court was told that there are ongoing talks between the Kirima estate owners and the occupants. In giving out directions on the 2 appeals filed, the court directed that parties file and serve their submissions and have the matter heard expeditiously. And in other news is that Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has announced that he will not leave the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition even if he is not endorsed as the party's flag bearer in the 2027 general election. According to Kalonzo, who has severally asserted that he will not back down from vying for the top seat, he will remain loyal to the coalition and will remain devoted to upholding its unity. While intimating that 2024 is the year the coalition will hold consultations on who their front man will be, Kalonzo said that he is best placed to be the top contender within the coalition to vie for the nation's top seat come 2027. He further added that he will remain vehement in seeking to finally, after Acorns take another stab at the presidency. The political climate within the coalition has, however, remained jittery as a section of leaders have intimated that Raila Odinga, the coalition leader, might be fronted again as the flag bearer. Kalonzo has vowed that he will pave way for nobody in the race, as has been his norm in previous elections, indicating that missing out on the ballot would mean his retirement from politics.
On to the international news.
And over to international matters is that the United States Senate has rejected a resolution seeking to impose conditions on security assistance to Israel. Senators overwhelmingly voted against the motion last night. It would have demanded that security aid to Israel be frozen unless the Department of State produces a report within 30 days examining whether Israel has committed human rights violation in its campaign in Gaza. 72 senators voted to set the resolution aside versus 11 who backed it, easily clearing the simple majority needed to kill the resolution in the 100-member chamber. The vote was forced by Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent who accuses with Democrats. While the resolution was handily defeated, it reflected growing concern among some President Joe Biden's fellow Democrats, especially on the left, over the continued supply of U.S. weapons to Israel despite the Gaza conflict heavy toll on Palestinian civilians. The White House has, however, said that it opposed the resolution, which could have paved the way towards the imposition of conditions on security assistance to Israel. And now you're up to date on Iqra News at 8 minutes past 3. For more on these and other stories, do join us at 6 p.m. for another bulletin in Swahili. My name is Ramla Abdi. Masalam.
Allah